Britain, one nation.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
This
This piece of bullshit was something that Lewis originally saw, and we were graciously reminded by our lovely patron Darius, who's in the chat at the moment. And I'm just gonna get it up because it was really, it was
terrifying, is what it is.
Yeah.
If you are a long-time listener of the podcast, even if you're a short-time listener of the podcast, you'll probably know that I'm a bit of a. I have quite left-leaning politics, to say the very least.
Yeah.
So when I saw this terrifying right-wing propaganda, I was genuinely really scared. If I remember right, I might be misremembering the story, so please feel free to call me a dickhead if I'm misremembering it. I think what was it? It was like a national office wanted school children to sing a song to say that Britain is one nation, a strong nation, and a proud nation, all at once. And the lyrics were terrifying. It was like Britain, one nation, strong nation, or something. Bearing in mind, Britain is, of course, home to several home nations. Yeah. Not just one. There's England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Northern Ireland. Sorry, that was complete idiocy on my part. But yeah, my point being that it's by nature, it's a very diverse place, and instead of that, it's like no, we're all one people. That's what we are, strong and singular.
Yes.
Can't it just be okay that we're diverse? Is that not okay? Oy.
I mean, I've got the actual tweet here, the original.
Oh, exciting!
And it's from the Department for Education, which is kind of
good stuff.
Sounds like the Ministry of Truth. We are encouraging schools across the UK to celebrate One Britain, One Nation Day on the 25th of June, when children can learn about our shared values of tolerance, kindness, pride and respect.
Oh, God, it makes me fucking angry.
You know, I mean, on the surface, it's like, oh my God, that sounds lovely. That sounds really nice. But it's like, as Lewis said, Britain is a conglomerate, a sort of partnership between several nations, all of which are very different to each other. They all have different cultures and different identities, and even within those nations, there's again different cultures between different ethnicities that have came here over the years, forcibly or otherwise. So to sort of try and lazily condense Britain into one big nation, as if that's what we've ever been about, is kind of fucking stupid. And
no, it really disgusts me.
Yeah, it's like, and it's being pushed in a way like it's like woke nationalism, you know. It's like I remember when the current government was put into power, and they talked about, we have the most diverse cabinet in UK history. And it's like, yeah, well, that's good, but it's fucking irrelevant if the cabinet is full of arseholes. Do you know what I mean? It's like surely the diversity is good as long as the people that we're representing are also good, you know? It's like, I really, you know, having saying, oh, we've got the most diverse cabinet in history, and then like hearing Priti Patel say that, who is a human coagulation of evil. You know, it really sort of undermines the whole message, I think.
It is terrifying because it's Darius has just put something in the chat. It doesn't count when you all have the same views. Yeah, it's
exactly.
Diversity is one thing, but it's diversity of political beliefs as well as diversity of ethnicity. Yeah. In that you can't just have. It's all well and good to say, oh, we've got this incredibly diverse cabinet, but if they all say, no, we should have an incredibly far-right, horrific government, well, that's not a diverse political opinion representing people from all over the spectrum.
No.
The idea of having the sort of representative system we do is that I vote for somebody for Stoke that represents my personal beliefs, and then they go to the Houses of Parliament and make decisions because they have the same beliefs as me. Exactly. That's the idea. But if the person that I'm voting for doesn't have the same beliefs as me, and I'm only voting for them because they're just there, and I don't want to waste my vote, so I just have to vote for someone, then they're going down to the Houses of Parliament and voting for something that I don't agree with at all.
Exactly.
So it fucks the whole system. Do you know what I mean?
It really
and
does.
And it frustrates me because it's that, and it's also this One Britain, One Nation Day. It's this insane myth of British exceptionalism, of I think there's a lyric in the song. It's like Great Britain, Strong Britain, or something. Yeah. Isn't that one of the most chilling things you've ever heard? I would not be surprised to hear that in like in horrific regimes in history, they made children sing songs like that about other countries that actually had openly far-right racist political parties in office.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely terrifying to think. Kids are being literally indoctrinated to think that Britain is somehow exceptional and superior to the rest of the world. It really scares me. I think go on.
I mean, thankfully, like, I think like this country, it's like it would probably have like more effect in somewhere like the United States, where like the Overton window is like shifted like right wing anyway. But like in this country, it's like you know we've got like stuff like the NHS. I think the youth is continuously getting more and more progressive. I've got some of the lyrics here.
Good.
We are Britain and we have one dream. Really, that's kind of generalising, isn't it? You know, I would probably drive off a cliff if I ever had the same dream as Mr. Johnson. If I'm honest, you know. So that's the first line. To unite all people in one great team. Yeah, but the problem with that is that it's different teams, you know. So like it sort of it inherently implies that some teams are going to have to be either rubbed out or pushed out in order for that to work.
Or just assimilated. The problem with the lyric is that it implies assimilation rather than sort of healthy debate and challenging others' political beliefs. If you've got the purple team and the orange team, and the purple team have some very left-wing views and the orange team have some very right-wing views, then you aren't combining their beliefs if the purple team dominate the orange team and sort of assimilate their beliefs and say, okay, you can't actually say the things you believe, you've got to be a mouthpiece for us. That's not healthy political debate. That's just a horrific situation. You need to have healthy debate in political spheres, and this feels like something that's starting to erase that a little bit. It's horrid.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's like, thankfully, I think that this has fallen flat for a lot of people, because it just seems incredibly desperate. And you know, you might be watching this thinking, well, I mean, it's just like a song and all that, but like generally rhetoric like this, when people say one people, one nation, it genuinely or sort of generally and historically has been along ethnic lines, as well as just having views of tolerance and respect and pride. That's the one that, you know, if you're used to hearing that sort of garbage, it's like the word pride just goes, I don't really like that. But
that's I couldn't agree more, Dan. I think that at the sort of core of my political beliefs is the thought that you are what you do, rather than what you sort of have become, if that makes sense. I think that it's complete circumstance that I was born where I was born, to the family I was born to, and that for example, it's complete circumstance that I grew up going to a primary school that did Easter services. At primary school, for us, every year we would do like every Easter we would have to learn all about Jesus and what he did at Easter, and then we'd have to go to church and sit through a church service and sing some songs. It's completely circumstantial that that's the case. If I was born in a different country, I would be learning different things about a different religion. So I don't think it makes sense to say, oh, I'm proud to be British.
Yeah.
Because you didn't earn that. That's just happened. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that you've happened upon. I'm proud of like the things that I have earned in my life. I'm proud of my career. I'm proud of my marriage. I'm proud of the things that I have managed to earn in my life. And I think that I mean, obviously I think it's a healthy belief because it's my own personal belief, but I think that's a healthier belief than thinking, no, I think that just through my existence, I am superior to other people.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my own existence relative to other people, because that implies that you are ashamed of other people and looking at other people and saying, no, look at what they've been born into. That's a disgusting, shameful thing that they've been born into, and therefore they are a bad person inherently.
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is like it's the root of xenophobia. You know, the sort of the idea that where you're born somehow has a greatness that other places can't achieve, and it's at its core, it's just primitive tribalism. You know,
really is. You're
wrapped up in garbage like this. I mean, I've got to say, on a more light-hearted note, the lyrics are so fucking shit, because it's "We are Britain, we have one dream, to unite all people in one great team." What's the next bit? And then it's just, for the next fucking 21 seconds, "Strong Britain, great nation." Literally, just those words for the next 21 seconds. So whoever wrote the song is not only a fucking idiot, they can't write a decent propaganda song. That's what so Tory government, whoever you paid to write this shit, maybe I would consider getting someone else if you want it to be a bit more effective, because that shit, it just doesn't work on young people today, because it's just embarrassing. It's so fucking embarrassing having to stand there like, oh, strong Britain, great nation. Like, what the? You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, I think young people nowadays are much more politically active, just because of things like Twitter that's brought them thrust into the centre of political debate. Even if it is just people calling each other twats on the internet, it's still, in a manner of speaking, political debate. And so I think that now you're much more likely to hear a young person, someone our age, someone even younger perhaps, that like has no 0 point, and would just say things like, "Oh no, yeah, we should redistribute the wealth, we should tax the rich, or eat the rich," sort of thing. It's much more common to hear people say very strong political statements like that than it is to even just see people chatting in day-to-day life. Yeah. It's something that I've noticed as a difference between myself and sort of older generations, is that like people from older generations sometimes just want to stop and have a chat about nothing. Yeah, and it's definitely. Like I'll be walking to the shop or something. It's like, "All right, mate, you going for a walk? I'm just going to the shop." "Oh, what are you going for?" "I don't really want to tell you." I'm just going for pasta. But like, why do you care? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's I think I would rather he was just like, "All right, mate, redistribute the wealth," and I was like, "Yep, eat the rich." Do you know what I mean? I'd rather have a that on the street. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I know that I am obviously biased in that I have my own political opinions, but something about this song, not only is it obviously different political opinions to what I have, but it's just something so insidious about how the plan was to sort of worm its way into school children's
education
minds. Do you know what I mean? Through the education. Oh, it's terrifying.
I mean, there was a similar thing in the US where Trump tried to introduce patriotic education, where just outright fucking lies are told about the US and their history. There's a great video by a YouTuber called Sean, who completely debunks everything that's in this Patriot
I really
Act.
like Sean. Yeah,
not Patriot Act. What's it called? That's surveillance. I can't remember the name of the act, but it's like there are just outright historical lies in it, and it's just it feels very, very similar to that sort of thing, because one Britain, one nation, Britain is great and Britain is strong. Maybe we should be teaching our kids about the role that Britain had in colonialism, for example. Maybe try and have a humble view of the country that we live in.
Of the past and move forward.
Yeah, and try and make it better, a better place to live for everyone, regardless of where you come from.
I think it's, in my heart of hearts, I do think it's something that I think, in order to maintain a healthy anything, you need to welcome criticism. Yeah. I think that's something that I value a lot about a lot of different things in my life, is that from sort of my writing work, I value it when people say, "I like this, but I don't like this, change this part," or "You could make this better," or and I value it in my personal life. I like that Chloe isn't afraid to say, "No, that doesn't make any sense, you dick," and correct me when I say something wrong. I think that's what we should be teaching kids. Sort of, it's okay to disagree with people. The problem lies in how you resolve those differences. Yeah. Be kind to one another and talk about things, and then we will all be happier at the end of the day. there is a solution out there for every problem that could ever exist. So maybe if we're all just a bit nicer to each other and we all just are a bit politer to each other with the debating, maybe we'll get there one day.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's like I'm finding it hard to imagine, kids that have to go through school meals getting cut and austerity, having to stand outside their school and sing this garbage. I mean, it's if it wasn't real, it would be funny, but it is, so it's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, you're completely right. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, very much so. But there you
Darius
go.
just put a very good point in the chat. I need people to tell me when I'm being a dick because I don't always know.
Yeah, exactly. And
accurate.
Yeah, and that holds true for any country. Like, it's either, I mean, Britain historically has been the biggest dick in the world. Like, just what's the phrase? The sun never sets on the British Empire. I mean, it was only 100 years ago that the empire managed to finally be sort of broken up, and yet we still have incredible influence over developing countries. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like principally, why wouldn't you just want to be humble, and why wouldn't you want to just say, let's just fucking get along, instead of strong Britain, great nation, we are one people? It's like, is it too much for the Tory government's brains that people might be different and might have different experiences? Is that just too much for them? It probably is.
Yeah. The thing is, I think it's because that's what people want to think. People want to think that they're just good and they don't have to do anything more. They don't have to improve.
Yeah.
People want to think, no, I'm already perfect. Yep. End of discussion. I don't need to improve anymore. People don't want to be told, okay, you're doing such and such things wrong. Maybe you could alter your behaviour slightly. And that you can see that when you look at sort of older people that are sort of, well, these transgenders nowadays, I don't know what to call people, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no,
it's like, well, can't you just modify your behaviour ever so slightly, be a bit more polite? Because that's, right, this is a bit of a sideways tangent, but go with me. That's one thing that does get me is, old people seem to have a bee in their bonnet about being polite. Like, the number of times I was told growing up, don't put your elbows on the table, or things like don't put shoes on the table, don't, things, very specific things about, well, that's why can't I do that? Because it's impolite. And then now that there's slightly different societal norms about politeness and about asking people for their pronouns and things like that, it's all of a sudden you can't be polite because it disagrees with your worldview.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, isn't that convenient? Do you know what I mean? It's absurd.
I mean, it's like it's it's not even, it's, you hear the phrase constantly, oh, you can't say anything nowadays, or they won't let you say anything nowadays, and it's just this trick that people like the Tories and other far right people like to play. It's as if they pretend as if they don't actually hold the institutional power, and it's kids on college campuses with blue hair that are suddenly running the world. I mean, when in fact they fucking don't. It's always been the same group of people, elite, rich, entitled, just morally bankrupt people that are always have been at the top. And it's like, if you believe that they're not actually running the show, it's just like, come on, all you have to do is look.
It's what makes me smile about conspiracy theorists is it makes me laugh how there's conspiracy theories that say, oh no, there's a secret group of rich people that are running the world. And it makes you think, what, other than the widely known group of rich people that run the world? Yeah. Are they not the same group?
Yeah, you just feel it saying, oh, you're so close. You are so close to getting it, I want to read
a bit more. Yeah.
I want to read a letter from this is St. Joseph's Catholic Primary School that was sent to them about this. And this is to children.
About the song, is this?
Yeah, it's about the song, and it's sent to a child's parent. Dear parent/carer, Friday the 25th of June is National OBON Day, One Britain, One Nation.
Obon.
He
sounds like a Transformers villain, doesn't he? It's like, oh, Optimus Prime, I'm here to destroy you. Not now, Obon.
It sounds like a fucking...
Oh, that sounds good.
It sounds like a fucking biscuit. Would you like an Obon, darling? It celebrates the four main principles of Britain: respect, rule of law, democracy, and liberty. Wait, so
Jesus.
I mean,
respect and rule of law contradict each other.
Yeah.
So does what was the liberty and what was the third one?
Democracy.
I mean, yeah, they're good.
They
don't exactly get on. They're good, but they don't get on with each other necessarily.
No. I mean,
it seems like quite a politically blind letter.
Very much so. On this day, children learn about how important it is that they have a voice, okay? That children have a right to an education and the fundamental basic rights.
Yes.
Okay.
Glad we agree so far.
Yeah, do you need to make a song to tell children that? How discrimination is wrong. Yep, definitely. We all have freedom. Well...
Not sure if we do, but go on.
Okay, you can say that. And all the nationalities that live in Britain are British and must always work together.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's
not great.
That erases about 1 billion people.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. In the morning, along with the other schools across the country, there will be a minute clap for all those people who have helped us this past year, and then we will sing a song. So who is it we're clapping for? If it's NHS workers, I have absolutely no problem with that. I think the NHS workers are extremely mistreated and extremely underpaid, and they deserve all the applause in the world. But if this is because Matt Hancock went on to Good Morning Britain and said that me and my team deserve applause, you can take your fucking shitey fucking song and you can stick it up your arse, as far as I'm concerned. During the day, the children will do some different work in their classes. On this day, we will have a non-uniform day, no cost, and ask for colours of red, white, and blue to be worn, please.
Jesus.
What? Why wouldn't you just... That's so fucking stupid. You're going to have a non-uniform day to express your individuality. Please wear red, white, and blue. What? Like, that's...
Thing is, if the idea of this One Britain, One Nation Day was, okay, we're gonna sort of celebrate British accomplishments, and then in your actual history lessons, you're going to learn about British atrocities, I'd say, okay, well, I don't like it, but I understand it.
Yeah, but it's better than nothing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But then in British, I remember when I was in primary school, we were always taught, we were always taught very British exceptionalism-y things about World War. I think we did World War II for about 5 years in primary school. Yeah. And is there a more British exceptionalism-y thing out there?
Yeah.
That people so often tout as, oh well, we beat the Nazis. Did we? Did Winston Churchill on his own?
Yeah, Winston Churchill sailed across on a dinghy and destroyed the entire German high command by himself. That's what happened. Just ignore the millions of Soviet lives that were killed, the millions of civilians that were killed during the marches across Europe to Germany. Just ignore all that. It's like, funnily enough, history has a lot of nuance, and countries like Britain have a lot of nuance to them. They've done some good things, and they've done some really fucking horrible things. The idea that Britain's history is just one big great thing, and we've done a few bad things here and there. No, it's like the entire foundation is based on empire and conquest and colonialism. So that's what needs to be fucking sung about, not some weird shitty tone deaf song about how we're all great and how we're all the same. It's like, no, we're not. We're all different. We all have different experiences and different cultures to appreciate, and I would much rather that was respected than some faux nationalism garbage.
Yeah, it's I think if you don't mind, I'd like to round out this section with I saw this article the other day about how it's survivorship bias. That's what a lot of sort of nationalism and older people's political beliefs are sort of based on when you sort of start to look at it. Things like, for example, people's opinions on mental health. It's quite strange when you sort of start to look at sort of older people and they have very intolerant attitudes towards people with mental health problems.
Yeah.
Because it's just bizarre when you start to think about it, because it's like, oh, well, if I said, oh, I have a disease in my brain and I need to go to a doctor to get some help for it, it was likely they would go, oh, okay. But if I say, oh, I have depression, no, you fucking don't. You're just sad.
You're just mopey.
Do you know what I mean?
You know.
Exactly, yeah. But then you look back at the survivorship bias things of, oh, well, nobody I ever knew had depression. Yeah. Really? Not even Bill that worked at the box factory, and he was completely normal every day, and then one day he just hung himself out of nowhere. Yeah, do you remember that? It's survivorship bias. Just because they happened to be the person that survived means they think it doesn't exist.
Yep.
It's just turning a blind eye throughout all of history, and it sickens me. So now that we're nice and angry...
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just removing nuance. That's all this is, and it's just, it's just not good. But I think we've harped on about it.
Yeah, I think we have.
I think
about half an hour.
Everyone that's listened to us, I think they know what how we feel about this. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see you next time.